I'm going to try, since I stand between you guys and lunch, I'm going to try and move through this a little faster. It's a little better than standing between you and cocktails at the end of the day. Quick show of hands, how many are actively engaged in a search campaign, whether organic or paid or both? Okay. How many have been doing this for 3 or more years? Okay. How many 3 or less years then? Okay, so the vast majority have a good deal of experience. So I'm going to start with a quote from J. Walker Smith. J. Walker Smith said, "Data is the most consumed product and it affects all others." And that's really true. That's key to search. Search is one of the great filters to help us sift through the information that's out there and find ultimately what we're looking for. To put it in perspective, if we look back to the beginning of recorded time through the end of 2003, there were 3 exabytes of data that were recorded. That's 3 times 10 to the 19th power. It's a tremendous amount of information. But if you look at social platforms and the ease at which we can create content today, the proliferation of blogging platforms, we're now creating the same 3 exabytes of data every 48 hours. So that's an incredible wealth of information. So search engines play an important role because they help us sift through that content and get to what we're ultimately looking for. A quick question, anybody want to take a venture? How many pages existed on the World Wide Web in 1993? Anybody want to take a stab at that? No guesses?
2 million?
2 million? 50. Just 50 pages existed on the web in 1993. Conversely, if you look at today, in line with what we're talking about, this tremendous amount of data, on the term search marketing alone on Google, there are over 387 million pages being indexed. So this incredible wealth of information. So search engines at the end of the day are ultimately trying to do a handful of things. They're trying to make us happy. They're trying to give the user exactly what they're looking for. They're also trying to make money. But at the end, they're creating algorithms to act and think as they think humans would think. Today, about paid search, I'm going to talk about organic search, tactics for both, how they work together, how they play off one another. I thought I would start with paid search. Paid search, if we step back, it's the only form of advertising that fulfills demand. If you think about all other forms of advertising, they're attempting to create demand. But paid search is appearing right there at the moment in time that somebody's actively looking for you. Campaign structure, which we'll get into in a little more detail, is incredibly important. It's ultimately what will help you build the most robust and most efficient campaign, or conversely, have you left with something that's not scalable, it's going to cost you more money, and it's going to be less effective. The long tail. How many are familiar with the concept of the long tail? Everybody. How many have read Chris Anderson's book? If you haven't read that book, it's an incredible read, it's a fast read. The long tail concept is completely apropos to search. It's never been more important. If you look at the fastest growing segment of keyword searches, it's 8 or more keywords being typed into the engine. Now that may change over time with the emergence of Google Instant, so now it'll be interesting to see what those numbers look like, but people are getting more sophisticated. In fact, Avinash Kaushik said 25%, 1/4 of all the searches that are being conducted on Google are unique to the engine. They've never been seen before. So people are searching in these incredibly unique and complex ways. And if you think about your own behavior, whereas you used to maybe go down into the second page, the third page, now you're stopping at the first page. If you don't get what you want, you go back and you start over and refine your query. Testing and refinement. It's key in anything that you do in digital. In search, it is real time. The information that you can get, how you can optimize the campaigns, is just incredibly powerful. I said that they're complementary strategies. If you leverage the two together, they are going to capitalize on the strengths and offset the weaknesses of the two tactics that, as standalone solutions. The problem facing a lot of marketers today is that they silo these departments. They may have one agency or one partner that's focused on organic. They may have another group entirely that focuses on the paid. The two don't talk together and they don't work as efficiently as possible. One of the best things, when you use the strategies in conjunction, you're going to get increased density on your search engine results pages. And one of the most common questions that I hear from brand marketers is, should I be bidding on my own brand terms? I hate paying for those clicks when I rank really well organically. I would likely get that traffic on my own. That's a very valid question. The answer that I always give is yes, and there's an important reason for that. Search space is finite. This is the most important, or some of the most important real estate that as an advertiser you could own. Why not take as many of those spaces, force your competitors out of that space or distractions, and you're more likely to get the visitor to your site, and that's ultimately the end goal. Also, conversely, your brand terms are going to likely be your cheapest terms, and they're ones that you'll convert on at a very high level. So I would say leave them in the campaign. And then as optimization improves organically, as you're doing things to make your site appear higher in the rankings, you're going to be benefited on the paid search side too. And that'll come by rewards of higher positioning and typically lower CPCs. Keep in mind, again, SEO is a longer-term strategy. Pay-per-click is more immediate. However, you can take learnings from pay-per-click, for example, and test things out. What keyword phrases are going to be important for me organically? If you're starting from scratch, try those in paid search. Figure out what's working. You'll have instant feedback. You can then apply that to your strategy. Think of it this way. If you don't do that, you could end up choosing keywords or phrases, spending months optimizing only to rank well for those and find out those terms aren't important to your business. They're not the ones that are converting or driving the type of traffic you're looking for. And then again, if it's extended reach that you're looking for, you get extended reach through the content network of paid search.